That's your money saying it's time for a McDonald's run. Because with new McValue at McDonald's, you get more than you expect. Like buy a 6-piece McNuggets and add a McChicken for just $1. Your money says let's go. Get more than you expect with new McValue. Prices and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Hello from the new Talking Real Money Virginia studio. This is the very first time my Virginia studio's ever been used.
Kind of sounds like it too, actually.
Yeah, well, it's not done. I haven't gotten any of the sound panels up or anything, so yeah, it's got a little echo to it.
And are you going to use the AI application or not?
The AI?
Artificial intelligence. That's what I was told. When you moved to Virginia, we'd have somebody else there that would be running, giving us the answers and stuff. No? Okay.
No, it's still me. Still the same old.
Well, that's kind of disappointing, but okay, we'll go with it.
OI, the old intelligence.
We'll go with that.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Talking Real Money, the show on Saturdays that turns into a podcast on weekdays. I'm Don McDonald, along with that guy over there, Tom Cock. And you are wherever you are, and you probably have something that pesters you that has to do with money. And that's why we have our special Talking Real Money hotline at 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. Not only will you get answers to your questions, because we know you have them. In addition, you will get what may be the only book that actually talks about how investing really works. A little later on in the show, we're going to talk about some of the more popular money books and how they don't give you investing advice. This one does, and you don't have to buy it. All you have to do is call the show and ask a question, and you get it for free.
And you're going to use Tom Jefferson's press there to whoop up a couple of copies this afternoon?
Gonna drive up the road to Charlottesville, to Monticello, and gonna
nice
crank them up there. Yeah, 855-935-TALK is the number, 855-935-8255. And before we get started,
yes,
I want to let all of you in the financial services industry.
This is your stockbrokers, your insurance agents, your registered investment advisors. Come one, come all. Gather close.
You know who you are.
Yes,
and you listen. You don't tell your clients that you listen, but you know you do. Because you want to find out what you consider to be the enemy is doing.
Yeah, that's probably
right.
They got a big picture of you up there with the darts.
Oh, man. One of those indexed annuity firms would play my shows years ago for people. And
we got to get this guy.
How horrible I am. Yeah. But deep down inside, the smart ones among you.
You know we're right? Is that what you're getting to?
You know we're right.
Okay.
You know. So you're going to want to hear this extra special announcement.
Oh, so you have something you're going to say to those people later in the show.
That's what I said.
Okay. I didn't know where we're going with this.
No, I said I have a special announcement coming up for those of you in the financial services industry. But what if you don't
work in the industry? Then what?
Then you can listen and you'll probably learn something.
Okay, so this is like a behind the scenes kind of,
Yeah.
John Gruden talking to Jay Gruden kind of deal. Something like that.
Do they talk?
I don't know.
Particularly after Jay got fired?
I'm guessing he's going to end up out on the other coast here soon. That's just my guess.
Kind of like Ron Howard casting his brother in movies, even though his brother can't.
He does seem to show up from time to time.
John goes, "All right, Jay, I'll give you a job."
Mom told me you were out of work, so I'm going to give you something here. So
see, you're the director of watering during halftime. There you go. Congratulations.
And I want the big bottle too, the fancy one with the that's so good job.
Anyway,
that's, by the way, what my brother would do to me if he had the chance. So, anyway.
I'm not even going to go to the list of people who would do that to you if they had the opportunity. I'm not going to go there.
Well, it's only a 2-hour show.
855-935-TALK. That's the number. Give us a call. 855-935-8255. It's really easy. It's really free. And the book is really free. Financial Physics, which I wrote, which is short, sweet, and to the point, because it doesn't have to be long when investing is too simple to be this blasted complicated. It really, truly is. So give us a call, 855-935-TALK, and we've already got people lining up, which we'll get after the top of the hour break, because there's no way we're going to cram a call in right now.
No, but you did make a point.
I know you want to go right to the call.
No, I don't. You do.
You love going to the calls. It's like, I gotta go to the call now.
Trying to be nice to people, but here's the thing.
Nice.
I know what you want to talk about is all of the noise out there about, I love this, about the market, etc., because there was a lot of, you sent me a lot of stuff.
Oh my gosh, you're talking about the New York Times. The New York Times did about 5 articles on how to invest in this murky market.
Yes, there's a lot of uncertainty ahead, Don.
Oh.
So let's make sure
Did somebody neglect to tell them that the future is, by its very nature, uncertain? 855-935-TALK.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Do you know what your investment risk tolerance is? Take our free no-obligation risk quiz at TalkingRealMoney.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
855-935-TALK. Give us a call. It's free, it's easy, and you get a book, too, just for calling, called Financial Physics. I wrote it even. So give us a call. 855-935-8255.
I'm nodding my head in agreement. For the first time since the late 80s.
Tom, radio.
Oh, it doesn't work.
Radio.
Okay. Radio. Coming up later.
You know, he used to be on television,
I know.
So he still gets confused sometimes.
I know. And the reason I was going to mention that is, coming up later, I will discuss my interview with the once now infamous Ken Fisher. So we'll take that up a little
this
later.
is such an inside baseball thing, though, because Ken Fisher's story, though, did it make national news?
It's on the business page of the Seattle Times today.
Oh, because it was like just in the advisor community.
Yeah, it was in kind of, as you say, inside baseball. Then it went to Bloomberg, and now it's gone, everywhere. So because his comments are really
giant forehead Fisher.
Yeah.
Ken, have you ever seen the picture, like the caricatures of it? He has the biggest I thought I had a big head. His head is twice the height of mine.
You guys never fit both of those in the same room. I mean,
no way.
2 melons of that size? No, wouldn't work.
Wow.
So,
big head. Big 855-935, and you should hear what else. Oh my, this guy has a big ego too. 855-935-TALK. Give us a call, and Alan's up. Alan, welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
We're doing great. How can we help you today?
Well, I am a customer with you guys, and been very satisfied.
Wow.
But
Thank you.
I have some questions, and I'm happy with my advisor. But I just thought I'd give you guys a quick call because I have some questions on RMDs, IRAs, and Roth IRAs.
Go ahead.
All right. What are the questions, sir? Shoot.
Well, one, I just turned 70, and I have to take an RMD, and I think the 70.5 is, according to Charles Schwab, is I don't have to take it till April or January, March. April of 2021.
That's correct. And you can push the first one off. Now remember, you're just going to pay, I remind people you're going to be taking basically 2 RMDs at that point, but it's fine. You can do that.
Right. I think I'm basically, I have to take 2 RMDs at one point.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what leads me to my next question is, I know I can convert my RMD to my IRA to a Roth IRA, but I got to bite the bullet and pay a lot of taxes.
Yeah, I mean, you could do part of it though.
Yep.
You can do that annually?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. You could spread it out. So, and what we advise a lot of people to do is to do some pre-tax planning, where you look at where what your tax bracket's going to be like. Make sure you don't kick yourself up into the next higher bracket, increasing your rate. So you do a little pre-tax planning.
Yeah, it's whatever it is that's going to kick me into a higher tax.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question too, at age 70, you're still young. In today's world, but again, I always ask people kind of why. Why do you want to do a Roth conversion?
Well, that kind of was my question, was if you do a Roth conversion, then it's tax-free thereafter.
Yes, but you're guaranteeing you're paying the tax now. I mean, in other words, and most accountants, CPAs are still going to say push any taxes you got till later. Many people, by the way, do the Roth conversion because then they say, well, I want to leave the Roth for others, which I think is very nice. But if you're going to leave money for others, gosh, they can pay the tax. That's their problem. I just think, so unless there was, no, I'm serious. I
well,
find
you're gone. What do you care?
No one's going to argue with you, but I'm serious because I think, well, that's nice enough. You're giving them money. So some of it would be around kind of the whys.
Okay. Well, no, I want to spend it all.
There you go. Which I think is admirable too. Just that last check you write, you got to be very careful when you write it.
Right.
I mean, the timing has to be very sensitive. Again, the Roth conversion, let's put it another way. If we were talking about this 30 years ago, then it's a no-brainer because then you get 30 years of growth. Now, I'm hoping, Alan, that you get another 25 to 30 years of life. That would be great. But the fact you're paying the tax today and then you need to get the growth to make up for the tax you had to pay immediately, oftentimes it does not pencil out. I'll put it that way.
Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. I was just checking to see if that one might have been a better option in the long run.
Looks like probably not. But again, it's a matter of sitting down and just kind of making some educated guesses. You know, one of the reasons a lot of people say, oh, I want to do a Roth conversion right now because I expect rates are going to be higher in the future. But that's all playing this guessing game. What you got to deal with is what you've got now. And if you're going to hurt yourself today for some nebulous future benefit, I don't see why.
Okay. So that kind of answers my biggest question. I have one other question that my lady friend has. She has an inherited IRA.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And so she's taken her RMD, and there's about $95,000 left in it. Is she better off to cash that out? Same kind of question.
Well, again, that depends on her tax rate, right? Because if she's going to take it all out and pay a higher percentage of tax, if it kicks her up a bracket, then no, you'd want to stretch it over time.
Again, the same answer probably applies to her.
Right.
You need to look at the situation, the details of the situation, but in most cases, the odds are that it's better to delay. That's just the default answer. It's not 100%, but it's most percent.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Right.
Alan, I want to say one other thing. Thank you for working with us.
Oh, it's been a great time.
That's very kind. We know who your advisor is, and we know how patient you've had to be with him, so thank you for that.
No, actually, he's been a great advisor, and I have a lot of these weird questions. And
no, good questions.
Very good.
Tom's just harassing him. Is he out there now?
Yeah, he's laughing. At least he laughed, so he's good.
He's sitting outside the studio, so that's why he said that.
Alan, thank you very much for your call.
Thanks, Alan. Take care. 855-935-8255. We really do love having you on the show and trying to answer these questions that kind of make you feel uncomfortable.
I think people, the whole, I just got to convert my Roth thing, convert my IRA, it felt like a gimmick to me in many ways. Again, if you're 40 and your income isn't very high, then you could do it over time. I think that's great. But if you're 70, and again, I'm not saying anybody's going to die the day after they're 70, but there's fewer years to make up for the fact that you're going to pay all that tax. And
now you're depressing me.
I'm sorry. Well, you're nowhere near 70. You've got
I'm only 6.5 years away.
I forgot. I was going to bring this up at the beginning of the show because we met with a woman yesterday who said she used to listen to you back a long time ago. This is true. This is true. Yeah. She said, this is a
80s.
quote. No, she said, in the 1890s. That's what she said. And I said, I'm going to use that on the show. She goes, no, I mean the 1990s. I said, no, you already said 1890s.
Well preserved, Tommy.
Well done.
Boy. Yeah, I remember that WW1. I remember that one. 855-935-TALK's the number.
Talking real money.
Download the advisor interview form and find out if your advisor's a fiduciary at TalkingRealMoney.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
855-935-TALK. That's our phone number. Call with a question and you get a book.
And
called Financial Physics.
Yeah, speaking of books, I mean, this comes up a lot. People ask us, what should I read to get some general knowledge about money, investing? Because there's so much advice out there, right?
Oh, my gosh.
It's everywhere.
Today's New York Times, I think it's the Sunday New York Times, has an article. It's titled Reconsidering the Advice in 3 Popular Personal Financial Books. And these are like the 3 most popular personal finance books ever written. I'm going to give you the names, Tom. You're going to know these.
I do.
1.
Yep.
The 9 Steps to Financial Freedom by...
I don't remember that one.
Susie Orman.
Oh, okay. That was Susie's. Okay. All right. Yeah.
The Total Money Makeover.
That's got to be Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
And of course,
can't live without him. Yeah.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Good like Robert Kiyosaki. So
Robert Kiyosaki.
2 of them I've interviewed. And by the way, just for full disclosure, Susie keeps most of her money in government bonds. She admits it, by the way, because she's frightened of the market. Robert Kiyosaki is a guy that tells you to go out and buy and sell real estate to get rich.
No, he tells you to buy real estate and then let it work for you.
Well, not sell. You're right. Okay, yeah.
The only way I see buying a house and it makes money for you without any doubt is you put a printing press in the basement
and just
cranking out the money.
But he says you create an income by being a landlord.
By being a landlord.
Which, if you wanted, I think there's a business there. Not guaranteed.
There's a business there.
Yeah,
That's the difference.
Yeah, it's not like investing in stocks and bonds because you don't have to get up every morning and do something.
Yeah, there's a business there.
I
It's
agree.
not a passive way to, and people talk about real estate. They say passive income. On what planet is owning a house passive?
Yeah.
They own 2 of them. They're not passive.
That's true.
And I don't rent them anyway.
Okay, so
this article's interesting because the premise is they give some good kind of touchy-feely generic advice, like, save.
Get out of debt.
Get out of debt.
That's always a good one.
Yeah, but they but past that, their advice when it comes to investing is pathetic. And I want to give you just a couple of examples.
Please
from
do.
This article.
Yeah.
This is really fascinating. For example, Susie Orman says all you need is one mutual fund, but that's as far as she goes.
Well, which mutual fund?
There you go.
What? Okay, it's not going to help me if I don't know which one.
She doesn't say which one, but all you need is one.
We tell you 2, by the way, as you know.
Yeah, but I bet this was written before VT Wax, before the Vanguard Total World Stock Index was a big deal. So
by the way, just to stop,
things.
just stop you with Susie. Susie, somebody has a horrible track record because she suggested you get into oil and gas. She suggested you get into technology. She actually got in business with a newsletter writer. Not to pick on Susie, but she got into business.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she did, and then found out that the whole thing was a total fraud. He had made up all the numbers. So she doesn't have the best track record when it comes to the investing side.
In I believe it was 1999. She said the only thing you need to own is the NASDAQ 100,
I think that's
the triple Q, the QQQ, right before it went down and probably didn't recover for ever.
Like 12,
I think until
13
recently.
Years. Yeah, no, it was a long time. You waited to get your money back, yes.
And okay, now Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey says no matter what, get out of debt. Doesn't matter. For example, he says even if your employer matches a percentage of the money in your 401k dollar for dollar.
Yep.
Don't take advantage of that match until you're debt free.
That's not good advice.
No, it's terrible advice.
No, think that through. For example, here Boeing has a very generous match, 6%. But you got to put the money in. And
it's free.
Every year they release the number that's left on the table. It's in the tens of millions of dollars that people don't get. Shocking. Go ahead.
We'll have some more of these for you.
And
coming
a major
up throughout
announcement.
The show. My major announcement for the advisory industry. Absolutely. You guys don't want to miss this. 855-935-TALK is our number. Call, get a book. It's free.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
It may not be the sexiest website in the world, but it's your one-stop shop for real money information. TalkingRealMoney.com.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Do you know why I wrote financial physics? Do you know why I
told
wrote
you
it?
to.
No, I wrote financial physics because I went out there looking for a good investing book. And you know, they're almost impossible to find.
Well, I mean, it depends. And
There are some,
yeah,
but they're not that good.
I like Larry's books. I like Paul's, but you got to be into it to read them. I mean, you got to want to get
they're
into
hard to read.
small cap value and then, all that. Yeah,
It's
and
more
most people-
complicated.
Yeah, most people
And
don't
then
want to know.
the stuff that's geared more toward the general populace is the stuff we were just talking about, the Dave Ramsey, the Susie Orman stuff that has horrible advice. That's why I wrote it. And you can get a copy for free by calling us at 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. And Kent's up next.
Kent's ready to go. Hi, Kent.
Hi, gentlemen. I did have one question on a previous caller about the Roth conversion. It's my understanding if you do a Roth conversion or set up a Roth, you can't touch that for 5 years. So that gentleman who was 70 might want to factor that in. Am I understanding the Roth rules correctly about?
He can take it out, but he's going to pay a penalty for the pleasure of doing so. Yes.
Yeah,
No,
and he was talking about converting a portion, but yes, you are correct.
Yeah, right.
Even if he converts, I know he has to pay taxes now, but if he converts, pays a tax, and then withdraws in 2 years, he's penalized again. I thought there's a 5-year holding period that you can't touch it without a penalty.
I think that I'd have to go look at that. It's a great question, Kent. I'm not sure if you're opening an IRA and putting the money in, or if that's money that was converted from an IRA to a Roth. I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either. I did a Roth conversion many years ago, and I was told by my tax preparer, now when we do this, you can't tap that for 5 years after you've set it up. So just when you do this, just be mindful, at least on the Roth conversion. I don't know if you're setting up a Roth, but I think there's a 5-year stipulation.
I know there is on if you open
contributions.
if you put money into a Roth, 5 year. That I do know. On the
it's on contributions, and I'm
on the conversion, there may be a 5-year hold, too.
5-year rule. I just want to double check, because I knew it was on a contribution. Let me double check. That's good. I just want to see here. The Roth distributions, taking this sort of contributions.
And every once in a while,
I don't see it on a rollover.
Every once in a while, you got to ask the advisor who's here, and he says that Kent is right.
Okay. See? Thank goodness we brought an advisor with us.
I know. And by the way, I'm glad he got the answer right because he didn't bring lunch. So he let me down on that part of the day.
Now, since I got that right, we haven't discussed my fee.
What do you want, Kent? Go ahead, hit us.
How about a copy of Financial Physics for free? There you go.
Or 100% of zero.
There you go. We'll start adding that up right away for you and get it out immediately.
No, the book would be fine if that's still available.
It's still available, and it's all yours. Yep.
Yeah, no shipping, no handling, no nothing. You just get it.
Thanks, Kent. Great
Thanks,
work.
Kent.
Appreciate
Take care. 855-935-TALK is our number.
You wouldn't want to do a conversion and then take it out within 5 because then you
years.
that doesn't make, just take it out. Right?
Right.
Just take it out of the IRA and pay the tax.
The whole point of making a conversion is giving yourself the opportunity to grow it tax-free for as long as humanly possible.
That'd be the bottom line, especially at age 70. I mean, my take would be you'd leave that to others who wouldn't have to pay the tax on it, basically.
That would be. I was going to say basically otherwise, you want to do it forever.
Exactly. So.
855-935-TALK. That's our number.
Thank you.
All right. You want to go? Are you calm now?
I feel better.
All right. Jim, you're next, and now you can rile Tom up.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing great today. How can we help you?
Well, I'm glad to hear a few weeks ago that you debunked the Power Trading Academy day trader program that's being offered on the radio.
Yeah. So were you at the class I was teaching, or did we talk about it on the air?
No, I heard one of your things on the air. My next question is, there's a commercial on the same radio station. I know you guys don't have any control over the commercials, but it's about investing in oil and natural gas and getting yourself rich for the next 20 years.
Oh, gosh, really? Really?
Yes. Yeah, listen around on Como.
Yeah. All right, hold on. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little bit about this whole advertising thing over which we have no control. If we were the advertising gods, this would not happen, but we're not, and it's a tricky business. This business of broadcasting. We'll be right back.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Just about everything you need to know about money can be found at our website, TalkingRealMoney.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
There are ads on the radio that bother me and bother Tom and bother Jim, and that's what Jim's calling about. And the problem with many of these ads is that while I find them personally repugnant and misleading in many cases, the fact of the matter is they're legal. And as long as something is legal, it becomes very, very difficult for a radio station, for anyone, to say, I'm going to pick and choose which advertiser I take. It could get into all kinds of hassles and troubles. The good news is we all have a right, because of that lovely thing called the First Amendment, to say we don't like them, we don't find them to be legitimate. And you were mentioning the oil and gas things. This was probably an ad where they talk about double-digit returns safely. Is that right, Jim?
Yeah, that is. Mailbox money every month.
Yeah. Well, that's easy. We only talk about that very quietly to ourselves. We don't share that with the public, of course.
Right. And they're legal because at the very end, and I think I've heard the ad you're talking about, at the very end of the ad, they talk very quickly, and then they tell you this is a private placement, and then that's covered their legal obligation. The other thing that does not even enter into the equation, and that I occasionally forget about, is a lot of these ads are coming from the network. And they're must-carry ads. They have to be carried, so you can't stop them. So it behooves you, the consumer, to be savvy about this. If anybody promises you double-digit safe returns, they're lying. Period.
Oil and gas is speculative. Oil and gas, it's one of those things that, by the way, for short periods of time, the returns can be tremendous.
Oh yeah,
like anything else, by the way, but the risk is very high. So no, we don't ascribe to that.
One of the problems with these oil and gas partnerships too is that many of them are self-liquidating. Which means, you may get an 18% check on your $100,000 investment or whatever it is, but part of that is your own money coming back. They're depleting these wells or these gas fields. 855-935-TALK is our number. Thanks for the call, Jim. Carol, you're up next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hey, Carol.
Hey, I'm already on. Okay, you should qualify me. Okay, cool. So I'm someone who had a background in radio, and I love your show. It's the very best, because when my husband died and left me with 5 kids in 92, I didn't have anybody to support my radio habits, so I became a loan officer. So I just love you guys. You're so good.
Wait. Oh.
She couldn't make enough money in
couldn't make enough money in radio.
Yeah.
We understand that.
We both been there.
We understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was a loan officer. Now, there's a new loan, a new federal guideline coming up with FHA that says starting the 15th of October, seniors will have a better opportunity to buy FHA condos. I'm an empty nester. My 5 kids are gone now. I have a big house, 4 bedrooms. Who needs it? I'm starting to have to pay for the 28-degree nights with my utilities. So is this really a real gift from the federal government that I can get an FHA loan the next time around and buy a condo? What they're saying is that they're not going to have to qualify like they used to in condos. So basically, if you have 2 houses in one, you can call it a condo. Is that correct?
Well, no, that part I don't know. I don't think so. What they're talking about is many condominium projects have not been able to be FHA certified because of all manner of problems. Condos, and again, this is a big, broad statement, but condos have tended not to be some of the better real estate investments, and the FHA and other lenders are relying in large part on the appreciation in those properties to help bail them out should things go badly. So they've revised their owner occupancy percentage because some condo buildings are all rented out. And so they wouldn't allow FHA loans on those buildings.
Yep, that's right.
But they're lowering that owner occupancy percentage to allow for more loans on condos. So it'll make it easier if you wanted to buy a condo to get an FHA loan for one.
There you go. Okay, that's pretty good news. Finally, the federal government does something for low-income seniors that are disabled. Yay!
Well, so now, Carol, I got to ask you, with your radio background, if anything happens to Don, are you willing to step in and be my partner on the show?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay,
oh, yes.
Great.
I would love to do that with you.
He's looking a little peaked since he moved to Virginia, too. So, I don't know. Thank you. I appreciate it. So
it'd be Tom and Carol and Ted and Alice?
Exactly, Tom and Carol.
Should I audition? I was at KGY and also at Mix 96 selling advertising.
There you go.
That's my resume.
Good enough.
Oh, she was advertising sales,
That's
dude.
That's good. Whatever. She sounds great.
I was a DJ, too. I used to pull the AP
there you go, the old wire.
What news I was going to read.
The rip and read right there. Yeah.
Yeah, now you're dating yourselves like us, Carol.
Because nobody else will date me, I understand. So.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the call, Carol. We appreciate it. 855-935.
I will.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
We gotta go to Matt real quick. That was a great call.
Yeah.
We lost Matt. We got him back. So let's try to get to him.
Oh, wait. No. That's all right.
No?
I can make my announcement now.
Yeah, I'm here.
He's there.
Oh, he's there.
Real quick.
All right. I thought we have him now. No, go ahead. Matt, what's up?
Okay, I just want to give a little further clarification on the Roth IRA question as far as taxable in the 5-year holding period.
Yes. So
the guy was partially correct. And any rolling over like a 401k or a IRA into a Roth, that money you have to hold the 5 years without, otherwise you can pay a penalty if you take it out prior to those 5 years.
Okay.
But if he puts money in on himself, like if he opens up a Roth IRA and, puts his own money in, contributes his own money, that's not a rollover, that he can take out within the 5 years. The principal he can take.
That's true.
The principal amount that he puts in, he can take out within 5 years without a penalty.
Yeah, that's correct. Not the growth.
Not the growth.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Not the growth on it, but just the principal that he puts in, as long as it's not a rollover. The rollover amount, you have to hold the 5 years.
Thank you, Matt. That's great.
Thank you. We appreciate the call. Thanks for, we're trying to clarify things.
We'll spend a long time on
that. You can help us do that. 855-935-TALK. You can call anytime, by the way, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, I have a special announcement for all of you in the financial services industry. I have a question for you. I'm talking about people who call themselves financial advisors, stockbrokers, insurance
Basically
agents, or
anybody.
even fee-only people. But I have here are two questions. One, what drives you in your job? Do you want to make a lot of money, or do you want to help your clients make a lot of money? Which one do you want to do? If it's number two, we know that it's hard to do that, to make your clients a lot of money, to do what's right for them at most of the firms in the country or in the Seattle area. Therefore, we would like to give you the opportunity that doesn't come along very often to work for a firm that cares about their clients over everything. We call that firm Vestry, and Tom and I just happen to own it. If you are looking to take care of your clients, to do what's right, to be a fiduciary, and by the way, never to cold call Tom.
Now, you want to give my number?
I want to give the 800 number. Call Tom on Monday at 800-386-3004.
Call Tom directly, 800-386-3004. We're going to hire one extraordinary person because our team's growing and we want you. Call us.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Tom and I believe in helping everybody become a better investor. That's why we offer lots of free knowledge at TalkingRealMoney.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
And speaking of a really great financial advice firm, we don't plug ourselves very often. We really don't. This show's about giving you great advice no matter what you do. We don't qualify you. We don't say, well, you got to be a client before we're going to help you, but we do manage people's money, and we're getting close to managing $500 million. And if you're looking for a fee-only advisor, somebody who's always going to look after your best interests, look out for your best interests, and you don't want to be pushed into things. You don't want to be sold products. Give us a call, 800-386-3004, or go to Vestory.com.
Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately and consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestory, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and disclosures. That should keep the lawyers happy.